Welcome seekers, you have made it to the Tarot Magicians channel. Welcome to episode 4 of the Tarot 101 Learning the Tarot series. Today we're going to be covering the Suit of Cups. Now, I am going to include, if you missed episodes 1, 2, and 3, where we go over the major arcanas, we also go over the Suit of Swords and the Suit of Wands. If you missed those episodes, I'm going to include the links in the description below. Also, we're going to go card by card, and I'm going to provide you with the symbolism of each card. If you want to fast forward to a particular card, you can do that. I'm going to include the timestamps below as well. So the tarot deck that we're going to use today is called the Tarot Apocalypse. And let me show you. This is a beautiful deck. It's from Eric C. Dunn and Kim Huggins. I'm definitely in love with the symbolism of this deck, and so that's what we're going to try and focus on here today, the symbolism, so that we can get a better understanding of the meaning of the card. All right, now another interesting thing about this suit and about this deck is that each suit of the minor arcana depicts a different ancient civilization. So for the Suit of Cups, we have the Greek and Roman worlds of the classical to late antique period. So it's going to be definitely interesting. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with the very first card. The Ace of Cups. As the aces are the raw powers and unified embodiments of their suits, the Ace of Cups is all the powers of the element of water and the Suit of Cups in their purest form. Like its sibling aces, this card is closest in nature to the source of its element. Like the water that it embodies, the Ace of Cups flows between the gaps of other cards in a reading, filling them with love, beauty, happiness, emotion, and mystery. It also shows us a key moment in life, that of Thyphony, revelation of the gods during initiation. In many traditions, the cup, or grail, is a symbol of holy mystery, and here it is unveiled deep within the initiatory cave. It is also an experience of spiritual ecstasy and bliss, of being filled with divine love and overwhelmed by realization of mystery. As our Suit of Cups is found in the ancient Mediterranean, the cup is the vessel that held the kykeon, the sacred drink of the Eleusinian mysteries given to new initiates before they underwent their first rites. There is some suggestions that this drink had hallucinogenic properties, and we know that it was drunk after a fast. So the kykeon was likely to either aid or directly induce the states of ecstasy that the initiate would achieve during the initiation rite. If you are to draw this card upright, its meaning is pure love, bliss, ecstasy, happiness, joy, emotions in their unadulterated form, divine madness, spiritual experiences, mystical experiences, connection to the divine or the source, communion with God, revelation, initiation, revelation of the sacred, beauty, art, manifestation of the imaginal world, an expression of one's inner world, depth, the subconscious and unconscious ensoulment. Now, if you are to draw this card reversed in a reading, then the meaning is blocked emotions, inability to manifest one's inner world or imaginal world, a lack of emotion, a deep sadness, a disconnection from the source, a disconnection from that which makes one happy, the inability to connect with the divine. Let's move on to the next card. Two of Cups. The twos of the tarot represent a duality or partnership. This manifests in the emotional Suit of Cups as the coming together of two hearts in a relationship. This relationship is often romantic, but there are many kinds of love, such as the love between friends. Thus, after the raw source of love and emotion in the Ace of Cups, we experience it in its purest possible manifest form. Love for another being. If you are to draw this card upright, the representation of the meaning is love, romance, intimacy, friendship, companionship, sharing and expressing one's emotions with another, two hearts coming together, marriage, a healing friendship, mutual affection, art and inspiration gained through love and friendship, the importance of one's relationship. Now, if you are to draw this card reversed in a reading, then the meaning is difficulties in one's relationship, obstacles preventing one from expressing emotions or love for another, past hurt making it difficult to show affection, lack of affection. Let's move on to the next card. After the private intimacy of the Two of Cups, the more group-oriented nature of the threes manifests in this emotional suit as a communal intimacy. Here, a joyous, carefree celebration takes place among friends, which serves not only to express joy and the reasons for celebration, but also to further manifest emotional ties between individuals. As the threes of the tarot are also concerned with manifestation, the Suit of Cups now manifests emotion through art, poetry, music, and playfulness. If you are to draw this card upright, it means celebrations, parties and festivities, communal joy, playfulness, and taking time out to play and have fun. Emotions expressed to others through art, family gatherings, weddings, child welcoming ceremonies, relaxing through fun, being carefree, one's social life. Now, if you are to draw this card reversed, then it means being too serious, refusing to have fun, missing out on events with friends, finding it difficult to free oneself of care and duty, too much fun, detracting from other areas of one's life. Let's move on to the next card. Four of Cups. Sometimes the earthy nature of the fours aligns well with the suit, such as in the Four of Wands, in which it provides fuel for the fires of creativity. However, in the emotional and watery Suit of Cups, the four becomes a dead weight, a sinking beneath the surface. The earth becomes mud, the stillness and peace found in other fours creating stagnant water rather than the flow and ebb more natural to this suit. Here is a recipe for disappointment, disillusionment, and boredom. This is where we get stuck in a rut and where relationships turn sour through over familiarity. Now, if you were to draw this card upright, the meaning is disappointment, disillusionment, despondence, drudgery, relationships becoming boring through overfamiliarity, being unwilling to try something new in relationships, becoming stuck in a rut, tradition negatively influencing matters of love, emotions being weighed down or controlled by others, feeling put down, unhealthy obsession or fixation upon a person. Now, if you are to draw this card reversed, then the meaning is working one's way out of emotional servitude or obsession, trying to bring a spark back to a dull area of life, Somebody willing to invest one last effort into something that looks likely to fail. Let's move on to the next card. 5 of Cups. The destructive nature of the 5s of the tarot does not mix well with the emotional suit of cups. Here, feelings are attacked, attachments swept away, and negative emotions reign. Confusion clouds emotional judgments, perpetuating negative feelings. Where the 3 of Swords showed us abstract grief and existential suffering, the 5 of Cups presents us with a stark image of personal grief. This is the loss that is felt deep within the heart. It is also the grief in which we find ourselves stuck. Here, we are unable to move out of the past and return to the present or look to the future. If you are to draw this card upright, the meaning is grief, loss, emotional pain and suffering, funerals and funerary rites, a period of mourning for a person, phase of life, place, etc. Being stuck in grief, dwelling on the past, being unable to move forward, self-destructive behavior caused by grief. Now, if you were to draw this card reversed, the meaning is grief as a healing process, making a time and place for grief, moving out of a time of mourning. Let's move on to the next card. 6 of Cups. The 6s of the tarot return to their suit a sense of balance and gentleness after the destructive nature of the 5s. In the suit of Cups, the emotional upheaval and anguish created by the aggressive 5 is soothed by the 6, in which we find kindness, sweetness, and care. The reciprocity of the 6s also gives to this card a generous nature, offering us a gift and promise of some of life's simplest pleasures. This simplicity also brings with it innocence and a childlike nature. If you are to draw this card upright, the meaning is innocence and nativity. Doing something because it feels good, but not understanding fully why. A happy time, simple pleasures, engaging in small acts of kindness, generosity and gift giving, caring for others, childhood and children, playfulness, learning through play, and soothing. Now, if you are to draw this card reversed, then the meaning is nostalgia and thoughts of the past detracting from the present, longing for an idealized past, lack of maturity and understanding, childishness, killing with kindness, a gift given with malicious intent. Let's move on to the next card. 7 of Cups. The fluidity and flux of the 7s of the tarot manifests in the emotional suit of cups in a distinctly unstable way. In a suit already changeable and flowing, the 7 amplifies the uncertainty and unpredictability of emotions and draws feelings away from reality into the realm of fantasy. At its most benevolent, this gives the 7 of Cups a dreamlike quality, in which the imagination may be allowed to run free. At its worst, unattainable fantasy desires to be made real and is held in higher esteem than reality. If you are to draw this card upright, the meaning is fantasy and dreams, imagination, emotions constantly changing and in flux, being uncertain what one wants, losing oneself in fantasies at the expense of reality, wishing and hoping instead of taking action. Now, if you were to draw this card reversed, the meaning here is debauchery and sexual excess, indulgence of the self resulting in negative consequences, too much of a good thing, allowing one's fantasies to take control, ignoring common sense. Let's move on to the next card. Eight of Cups. Although the Suit of Cups has shown its main concern so far to be that of the emotional and social world, these areas of life nourish our spiritual selves. Emotion, both pleasant and painful, stimulates spiritual experiences, and we often reach greater spiritual understanding through our interactions with others. In the Eight of Cups, we find our spiritual world presented as a journey or quest for meaning, understanding, or an initiation into mystery. The Eight of the Tarot carry the earthy and manifesting energy of the Fours, but doubled. Some suits they weigh down and bind, but in the Cups they create a spiritual descent into the underworld of the psyche or soul, called katabasis by the ancient Greeks. Now, if you were to draw this card upright, the meaning is a spiritual quest or journey, pilgrimage, letting go of the past and moving forward emotionally, a deeper sense of understanding, a quest for freedom and wisdom, a seeker, a vision quest, engaging with one's spiritual needs, allowing healing to occur, seeking answers during a time of emotional upheaval. Now, if you were to draw this card reversed, then the meaning is refusing to let go or move on, a misguided search, being held back by one's emotions, being afraid of being alone or doing something on one's own, refusing to look within one's self for answers. Let's move on to the next card. Nine of Cups. Like the other cards of its suit, the Nine of Cups presents an emotional state. As it is so close to the completion of its suit, the watery energies of the cups have gradually flowed down, closer and closer to something solid, manifestation and grounding. The later cup cards collect all the emotional energy flowing downwards until they are full to the brim. This fullness manifests as happiness, bliss, and emotional stability. Though in the nine, it has not quite reached completion and is still in flux. Thus, although we find here our wishes being fulfilled and our joy being expressed in abundance, it comes with the reminder of its temporary nature. These are not long-lasting joys, but fleeting ones. Now, if you are to draw this card upright, the meaning is showing your happiness, status, or wealth to others, feeling lucky, good fortune, wishes being granted, a perfect set of circumstances leading to joy, emotional fulfillment, emotional abundance, almost achieving a goal in the emotional or social area of life. Now, if you are to draw this card reversed, the meaning is smugness, being emotionally competitive, a stroke of poor luck, fleeting happiness, having too much of a good thing. Let's move on to the next card. 10 of Cups. At the culmination of the Suit of Cups, we find a blissful scene of family happiness, As the emotional energy of the suit has undergone the process of fruition, it has become more profound, manifest, and positive. From the undifferentiated source, the water of the suit of cups has flowed downwards towards the earth and is now collected in cups full to the brim with emotional contentment. The many cups, symbolic of hearts and souls, in this card represent a loving community. This is the happy ending in which everything we have hoped for has come to fruition. Yet the nature of the suits is cyclical. While it is a happy ending, it also engenders a new beginning. If you are to draw this card upright, we have happiness, joy and bliss, a happy ending, a more than satisfactory conclusion to a project of love, a happy home, family and social life, acceptance by a social group or community, sharing joy with others, freely expressing one's happiness, favorable outcomes in love and friendship, spiritual and emotional fulfillment, a realization of the joy of the world following spiritual revelation or quest. Now, if you are to draw this card reversed, the meaning is delayed happiness. A home that appears happy externally, but may be struggling internally. A minor dissatisfaction marring otherwise perfect happiness. Feeling unable to share one's joy with others. Let's move on to the next card. We have now made it to the court cards, and we start with the Princess of Cups. Like the other princesses of the tarot, the Princess of Cups represents the element of earth and its powers of manifestation, containment, fertility, and potential, expressed in her suit of water. Her realm is diverse and vast, experienced frequently by all. When we fall in love, we feel the power of water manifesting within us as something filled with potential. When we awaken to emotions, we open like the flowers of the earth to receive nourishing rain and moisture. We must remember that our everyday life needs emotional input, an expression of love and a connection with other people, or it will die like a plant unwatered. The Princess of Cups is therefore the awakening of the emotional self. As she is earth of water, this princess often takes on the role of the beloved, the object of desire. As the element of water pertains not only to emotion, but also creativity and imagination, the Princess of Cups is the muse of the tarot, the inspirer of art and beauty. She is the moment when the artist begins to express their creative and imaginative urge. She is also the vision and the ability to read signs, dreams, and oracles. She is the moment, the dawning of inner understanding, and the oracle or the sign giver. Water can be seen as a symbol of the divine, and therefore the soul. And in the princesses, the soul finds a home in earth. Only in manifestation can the soul truly come alive. If you are to draw this card upright, it means awakening of emotions or love, inner vision, a visionary, mystic, dreamer or seer, the manifestation of artistic desire, the manifestation of imagination and creativity, putting foundations beneath creative endeavors, a muse, seeking inspiration, twin flames, falling in love, an object of love, the soul being awakened, allowing one's emotions to be immersive, fertility of the heart, potential of a relationship. Now, if you are to draw this card reversed, What we have here is love stuck at the first hurdle, emotions stuck in the mud, an artist unable to find inspiration, creative block, a whimsical dreamer who doesn't consider reality, unrealistic expectations of love. Let's move on to the next card. Prince of Cups. Bringing the airy nature of the princess to the watery, emotional suit of cups, the Prince of Cups is a swift-moving, fast-talking, deep-feeling romantic and idealist, yearning always for a one true love. He is the stereotype and model of a lover, falling in love and being caught up in it completely. He seeks romance deeply and offers it freely to others. He feels keenly, often painfully, and his emotions run deep, yet they can be tumultuous and unpredictable. The elements of air and water combined create phenomena such as geysers, rough waves, and whirlpools. The path of love does not run smoothly, and with this prince, all emotions are on the brink of drama. This drama requires very little to set off, and as such, some might even suggest that this drama is all part of what the Prince of Cups thinks love should be, volatile and deeply felt. This princess's airy nature manifests as idealism. A study of love and emotion has led him to place love on a pedestal and define what it should be rather than experiencing it for what it is. Actual experience of love may terrify the Prince of Cups, who moves on quickly at the briefest glimmer of commitment. He cannot bear to see the reality of people or situations. He prefers everything and everyone to be beautiful and perfect, and anything less either turns his heart away or breaks it. He does, however, overcome heartbreak easily, as he soon falls for the next thing just as swiftly. This card, if it is drawn upright, means romance, idealized love, seeking a romantic partner or emotional connection, yearning, instigating love, an ideal partner, moving on from social and romantic involvement quickly, volatility and turbulence of emotion, rivalry in love, putting love or a person on a pedestal, flirtation. Now, if this card is to be drawn reversed, then we can interpret this as fickleness in love, a commitment phobe, inability to cope with the reality of a relationship or friendship, negative volatility of emotion, desiring somebody out of reach, refusing to move on from a relationship that has ended. Let's move on to the next card. The Queen of Cups, through her royal rank, draws the affection and love of all. Like her sisters, she is nurturing, inspiring in others the qualities of her court. Her watery nature as a queen gives her a natural tendency for caring for others, channeling what others need, nourishing others, and receiving what is given to her. The suit of cups exaggerates her watery qualities, making her the quintessential representation of water in all its forms and powers. She is deeply emotional and feels all things keenly, exhibiting her emotions as readily as she experiences them. Due to this, she has been cast as the Queen of Love, ruling over relationships, family, and social circles. She is also the Queen of Beauty. This beauty is like a siren song calling to those who would love her, drawing them in. To many, she is as fickle as the ever-changing sea. To some, she reflects much like the glassy, mirror-like surface of a deep, still lake, but has no drive and direction of her own. Indeed, one of the powers of the Queen of Cups is the ability to change, to reflect others and her situation. Yet, she is more than what she appears, for the ocean is our planet's final frontier, into which the knowledge of humankind has only begun to penetrate. The depths of the Queen of Cups are unfathomable, filled with dreams, hopes, fears, feelings, and wisdom. Few find these depths, drowning instead in the turbulent emotions of this queen, or becoming terrified of what she offers. Like the sirens and mermaids of myth, this queen lures us in with her sweet song and beautiful visage. In her love for us, she can unwillingly drown us in her waters. She does not realize that where she swims, others drown. Now, if you are to draw this card upright, then the meaning is beauty perceived or intended, love and relationships, whether romantic, platonic, or familial, nurturing emotions and feelings, reflecting the feelings of others, changing one's emotional state, inspiring love in others, caring for others emotionally, depth of emotional experience, changeability, emotional growth, adaptability, immersion. Now, if you are to draw this card reversed, then the meaning becomes jealousy, fickleness, drowning in one's emotions, feeling overwhelmed in a relationship, overly attaching oneself to another person, obsession, preoccupation with outer appearance, being acted upon rather than acting, inability to grow emotionally, suppressing or refusing to acknowledge the feelings of others. Let's move on to the next card. The King of Cups. In the King of Cups, the fiery aspects of all the kings of the tarot expresses itself in the suit of water. Here we find the active, ambitious, and passionate aspects of our emotional and social selves. It also represents active emotions going out into the world to positively affect others, such as compassion, care, and healing. Further, as the king is the highest rank in the tarot court, the King of Cups shows us the possible pinnacle of our spiritual and emotional selves. As such, this card has many facets. He is a healer, a savior, a prophet, a lover, guide, and muse. The card image represents Apollo, the Greek god who encompassed all these roles, whose oracle at Delphi was perhaps the most influential in the ancient world. He kneels on the stone steps on the edge of the ocean, his temple at Didyma in the background. This temple had a spring from which a priestess gave oracles, just as we might turn to the spring waters of the King of Cups for a source of wisdom and inspiration. Now, if you were to draw this card upright, the meaning is a healer, a counselor, therapist, psychologist, undergoing a process of spiritual, emotional, and mental healing, being in a need of aid, giving aid to another, emotional wounds as a mode of learning, a guide during a difficult time, rising above emotional difficulties, purification, refreshment, maturity in relationship. Now, if you are to draw this card reversed, the meaning is a lack of guidance, needing aid that is not forthcoming, immaturity in love, drowning in one's emotional problems, a drunkard and lech. bitterness. We have made it to the very end of this beautiful row that started with the Ace of Cups and ended with the King of Cups. Now, I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you took something very dynamic from this, and I hope that it aids you on your journey as you move forward. Now, just a reminder, if you want to go ahead and watch the other 3 episodes, I will leave a link below. So, thank you, Seekers, for watching. Thank you for your love. Comment down below, let me know what you thought, and give this video a like to help the algorithm. Thank you, and bye-bye.